the day she realized he didn't love her anymore. At exactly 11:47 p.m., Meera received a message from the man she loved. "I think we should stop pretending." She stared at the screen. Her hands went cold. For the past 3 years, she had believed that Aarav was the one person who would never leave her. But that night, she realized something much worse. Maybe he had already left. He just hadn't told her. The next morning, Aarav behaved normally. He made tea. He asked her if she had slept well. He even smiled when she complained about the cold weather. Everything looked normal. But Meera couldn't stop thinking about his message. Finally, she asked, "What did you mean last night?" Aarav looked at her for a few seconds. Then he said quietly, "Nothing. Forget it." That answer hurt more than the message. Because people don't say forget it when they have nothing to hide. They say it when the truth is too painful to explain. For the next few days, Meera started noticing little things. Aarav stopped asking about her day. He stopped calling her before sleeping. He stopped remembering the little things she loved. Once, she came home with her favorite chocolate. Aarav looked at it and asked, "Why did you buy that?" Meera smiled sadly. "You used to remember." He didn't answer. That night, she cried silently in the bathroom. Not because he had changed, but because she finally understood that she was still loving the version of him who no longer existed. Then, one evening, Meera found something strange. Aarav had left his phone on the table. A notification appeared. "I miss you. When are you going to tell her?" Meera's heart stopped. She didn't open the message. She didn't need to. Her worst fear had just found a voice. There was someone else. She spent the entire night awake. She imagined another woman sitting beside him, laughing with him, hearing the words "I love you" that once belonged to her. By morning, Meera had made a decision. She would leave. Without begging. Without asking why. The next evening, she packed her clothes. Aarav watched silently. "Where are you going?" Meera looked at him. "Somewhere I don't have to wonder whether I'm loved." For the first time, Aarav's face changed. He looked frightened. "Meera, wait." She stopped. He walked toward her and said, "You misunderstood everything." She laughed through her tears. "Then explain it." Aarav lowered his eyes. "I couldn't." "Why?" He took a deep breath. "Because if I told you the truth, you would never forgive me." Meera whispered, "Try me." Aarav reached into the drawer and pulled out a small envelope. He handed it to her. Inside was a photograph. Meera stared at it. It was her, 3 years earlier, standing outside a hospital. Beside her was a man she had never seen before. On the back of the photograph, there was a date. And one sentence. The day Meera forgot everything. Her heart began pounding. What is this? Aarav sat down and finally told her the truth. 3 years ago, before their relationship began, Meera had been in a serious accident. She survived, but she lost part of her memory. Aarav had been her closest friend before the accident. After she woke up, she remembered almost nothing about him. She only remembered one person, Aarav, but not as her old friend. She remembered him as the man she had fallen in love with after the accident. Aarav had known the truth. He knew that the memories of their relationship were not completely real. But he stayed. Because he loved her. The message she had received, "I think we should stop pretending," wasn't about another woman. It was about the lie he had been carrying for 3 years. And the woman who had texted him? She was Meera's sister. She had written, "I miss the old Meera. When are you going to tell her?" Meera couldn't speak. Then she asked the question that broke Aarav's heart. "So, you don't love me anymore?" Aarav's eyes filled with tears. "I love you more than I ever loved anyone." "Then why did you push me away?" He smiled sadly. "Because I finally realized something." He looked at her. "If you stay with me because you remember me as someone I was forced to become, then I'm not giving you a choice." Meera's tears fell. Aarav continued, "I wanted you to leave me." "Why?" "So that if you ever come back." His voice broke. "It will be because you chose me." Silence filled the room. Meera looked at the man she thought had stopped loving her. And suddenly, she understood. He hadn't stopped loving her. He had loved her enough to let her go. 6 months later, Meera returned to the same house. Aarav opened the door. They looked at each other. This time, Meera smiled. I don't remember everything. Aarav nodded. I know. But I remember one thing. What? Meera stepped closer. I chose you. And for the first time in months, Aarav didn't have to pretend. Neither did she. Because sometimes the greatest proof of love isn't holding someone tightly. Sometimes, it's giving them the freedom to leave and hoping they choose to come back.